Do you ever feel stressed out about branding, or just feel like you've been pigeonholed into some kind of typecasting that you don't like? Again and again, I've seen actors feel frustrated about their branding and not liking some typecasting that's been thrown upon them, and it often leaves them feeling completely uninspired, and many times they just drop the subject of branding because it's so unpleasant or so daunting. I'm here to tell you that if you have not found a brand you love, then you just haven't found your authentic brand as an actor. I believe that the more authentic you can be in your branding, the more you will like it, and ultimately, the better your brand will be. When you say what you truly feel and believe deep down, when you are authentic, there's something very freeing about it. You can just sigh and take a deep breath because you know you've landed upon the truth. There's a saying that goes, "The truth shall set you free." And it truly does. It's true for human beings in general, but it also holds true in branding yourself. Marketing yourself as an actor can get confusing because Hollywood is a realm, a city, a space of images and expectations. To be successful, you're expected to fit within a set of looks, whatever the look of the moment is, or the set of looks, meaning multiple looks. And if you don't, then you're left in a quandary about how to fit in somewhere. It is true that casting begins with a look, so oftentimes you might feel you have to focus on your look to have opportunities to be cast. A blonde actress might feel like she'll be taken more seriously as a brunette, or a guy might start working out to become more muscular when it's really not his thing. But the problem is, if these things are not authentic for you, it ultimately won't work because it doesn't fit and it doesn't feel right. Years ago, when I was still acting, my manager and I wanted to do something to set me apart a little bit from so many other blue-eyed blondes and brown-eyed brunettes. So we decided that I would dye my hair black from its natural dirty blonde color. We thought it might be a good compliment to my blue eyes. And I remember the day it happened and the day after. I dyed my hair black on a Saturday. Then later that day, one of my guy friends called and asked me how I was, and I said, "I'm depressed. I dyed my hair black." And he said, "I'm depressed too. My girlfriend broke up with me yesterday. Let's go for a motorcycle ride." And I said, okay. The next day then, we go riding, and we stop at the Sagebrush Cantina in Calabasas. And I go to the ladies' room, and while I'm standing in line, looking in the mirror at my dark brown hair, or black, whatever the color was, all I could think is, what have I done? I was depressed. Not to mention that at that point, I also had helmet head hair. My black hair was smushed against my head, making it look even worse. But it was about to get worse, maybe. A couple of minutes later, while I was standing in that same line, someone mentioned that Bruce Springsteen was sitting at the bar. And it just so happens that I was a super fan. There I was with smushed hair, black hair, with Bruce Springsteen in the house. Now, suffice it to say, I didn't let my depression about my hair stop me from going over and chatting with him. And yes, I know you're not supposed to do that, but he was my number one guy celebrity that I wanted to meet. But as much as meeting this man that I had seen in concert almost 25 times, as much as that stands out in my mind, so does the fact that I had dyed my hair black and I didn't like it. Although I did go on and keep my hair dark for almost a year, and I did get used to it a little bit, it just never felt completely right to me. And eventually I went back to my natural color. But the truth is, I always felt kind of blah with my natural dirty blonde color too. Now, a few years back, so we're now getting back into present time. A few years back, I realized that what I truly wanted to do was to go platinum. So I did it. I did that, and I will tell you that I feel great. Now, granted, I'm no longer acting, and I know my hair does not look like a natural color, but I don't care. I feel great. I feel like it's me, it's the color I want, and I love it. The bottom line is that you will be most freed up when you do what is authentic and feels good to you. I use the example of hair color, But even more frequently, you might feel like you have to take on certain personality traits, like pretending to be a people person and putting on a fake smile. Or you might feel like you have to tone down your personality and be a proper business professional. But all of that is just simply not true. The more you can express your true, authentic self and what you want to express, the more you will love your brand and the stronger it will be. Now, you can't go totally off the rails. You do have to find a place to fit in within the broad market. But the point is not to settle on a brand until you find one you love. I've worked with literally thousands of actors on casting and branding, and I give a lot of advice. But in the end, the most important question I ask, as really part of my advice, is how does that feel to you? Now, funny enough, actors are often not tuned in to how it feels to them because typically no one asks how something feels to them. They're just asking them to play a character. Marketing oftentimes might seem like it's just this big confusing mess when you get mixed feedback, but one of the keys is to listen for what feels right to you. Although listening to what feels right for you doesn't mean you'll instantly have your brand all set, it does mean that if you do not love your brand, you are not on the right track. In summary, the simple rule, which is what this article is about, is don't settle on what your brand is until it feels right to you, until you love it and you can own it. Once you do that, you can then begin to find the right outward expressions of it and build the foundation of a strong, lasting actor brand that really gives you the freedom to truly be yourself. If this is interesting to you and you want to learn more about branding, then you can start by registering to get the first module of my Authentic Branding for Actors video course free. It's the introductory welcome module and you get it totally free. All you have to do is go to the URL on the screen or in the notes below this video, and you can actually register there to get the free module, and you'll learn more about branding, and then you'll also find out about the rest of the course. All right, my friends, that's all she wrote. She being me. This is Melody Jackson reminding you, don't go outside without your pants on.